In the distant future, video games are everything. Money, health, supermodels, sustenance. I know all of this because I come from the future. But that's not the point. The point is that life is meaningless and we're all just bags of meat that only know happiness when chemicals in our brain do a thing. And that is the sad reality of life. Fortunately, I have video games to numb that pain. I'm a disembodied voice facing an existential crisis represented through an animated figure, and you're watching Byte Me. And speaking of the future, let's travel back into the past. But not too far, that'd be dangerous. You have to be home by 10, curfew and all that. 2017, Nintendo comes out with a new console, the Switch. This adorable little touchpad that has these stupid detachable controllers. You put it in the dock and boom, the game is on the TV. Take it out of the dock and take the game wherever you want. This device was somehow the coolest thing I'd ever seen, and the perfect size to snap over my knee. The only thing that could hold it back was the games. So what was Nintendo's game plan? Slap a new innovative Zelda on it, with a physics engine that actually works for creative ways to solve puzzles, or completely cheese the shit out of them. This stupid tech demo that everyone knew was going to suck. A little weird, but we expect this kind of thing from them. Bring back a game that was a success on a tombstone of a system, but call it a sequel even though it was really Splatoon 1.5. Then they just needed something more. If we go down the list, we have some good stuff, but come on, this is Nintendo. They always have to do something just stupid enough to work. And I can see the boardroom meeting for this now.
Okay guys, I've got this great idea. What if we had Rock'em Sock'em robots? But since kids like shooters and are little babies, they punch from halfway across the map.
And boom, ARMS was born. I have a love-hate relationship with a lot of games. Usually I just love to hate them because they're broken, buggy pieces of shit. But with ARMS, I'm always confused. It's like someone said, "Wow, I sure know how to pick a winner," in the driest, most sarcastic tone you can imagine. And you're not sure who it was directed towards, or if it was an insult or a compliment. This is exactly how I feel about ARMS. When I first got into this thing, I hated its guts. I stomped on the cartridge, threw the box in the trash can, called it things that would make Satan uncomfortable, and yet I always picked it back up. Over time, as the game changed, I liked it more and more, until it pissed me off again. There were times I felt like no one gave a crap about this game. Like all these other games had cool box art under the sleeves, and you look at the underside art for ARMS and it's just these stupid instructions that the game gives you while the game is booting up, despite there being dozens of beautifully drawn pictures inside of the game. There's also the gameplay, which is way deeper than it has any right to be. But if you go to the training, they're all labeled these random things and they don't tell you if you've completed the objective or not. They have zero direction whatsoever. The worst offender of this type of thing is in the Help section. There's a tab under the submenu titled Extra Stuff for the ARMS superfan. Some of it is cool, like the high scores that the development team have gotten in different game modes, but most of it is pointless garbage that doesn't matter or is obvious. Like the home button can't be used in online. It's obvious as it is pointless. But enough of the hate, let's get to the love. What does this game do that brings me back to it every time? One thing that guarantees a game to sink its hooks into me is that it has this oomph of style. It can have that through its art, its storytelling, its music, or its characters. Despite how one note ARMS looks at first glance, it oozes style. Every time I hear that music and see these vibrant colors and cast of out-of-place characters, it feels like a festival. Like someone snorted confetti and wanted to have a boxing match with party blowers for giggles. And there's something infectious about the music. even though my interest in the vocals is comparatively shallower to the noises my microwave makes. I mean, Nintendo, you've got some really good instrumentals, but I'll let my guy Shady Cicada show you how to play music that really pumps you up. The look of this game smacks me in the face with color every time. Now, I am not a colorblind person, but I might as well be. Despite trying my hardest to understand what colors look good together, despite using every app or software add-on that tells me what lights and darks work well together, I can't f***ing figure this out. I'd have better luck trying to build a rocket ship out of balsa wood and hot sauce. I look at these colors and I think to myself, should this stuff even work together? Because my eyes are so happy looking at this, even unicorns on a restricted diet of paint thinner and crayons would be impressed by these palettes. No matter what color you choose for these characters, it clicks instantly. And speaking of, the characters are by far the best thing. They're like if luchadors, superheroes, and a slinky conceived a love child. You've got Springman over here, who is your token rookie character with the typical Japanese cool guy hairdo. Even though most people argue he looks like a walking Colgate commercial. Ribbon Girl, a pop star that people play if they want to waste every second of your time. Ninjara is your average fry cook at Denny's that teleports around. My personal favorite, Master Mummy can heal while guarding. You fool, I can't lose if I'm already dead. You win this round. Min Min is made entirely out of noodles. Except when she has a dragon arm because reasons. Mechanica is the only person who doesn't have the power of arms. She just made a suit for fun. Twintel is a movie star and uses her hair as an extra set of arms. And she can slow down the time around her. Sounds like somebody else I know. Then you have Robocop and Disembodied Doghead. They have the combined power of police brutality and animal abuse. I call it Polymal Bruce. Kid Cobra is this game's edgy version of Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Do you remember Slimer from Ghostbusters? Well, this is his second cousin, 37 times removed, and I see him in my nightmares.
I'm right here to stay when I'm old and grey. I'll be right in my prime, living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time.
Max Brass is easily the most lovable character, and his power is making his shoulders too far apart to hit anyone. Lola Pop is a unique character in the sense that I'm not sure whether to laugh or be frightened that a clown is in a fighting game. Masengo has got this little spirit guy that can make him faster and make it so he can take hits. Springtron is like Springman, but he doesn't want you to play the game. Dr. Coil is a mad scientist who can float around, turn invisible, and grow a third arm. So imagine if a stealth jet could punch you with 3 arms. There's also Headlock, a frequent boss in the game, and I really don't know why more people don't like fighting this guy. It's a really fair fight. You have your abilities and 2 fists, and he's a computer who knows your every move, has the abilities of whoever he possesses, and has a bajillion fists. Finally, there's also Biff, the commentator of ARMS. Now, leading up to the release of this game, they had this guy talk about ARMS to get people pumped up for it, and this was his voice.
Hi there, ladies and gents. I'm Biff, your trusty ARMS commentator.
Now, this is him in the game. I don't know why they thought to have a fairy swear in Danish, but that's what it sounds like. And this leads back to another one of those moments I was talking about before where I'm not sure if they cared about this game or not. The dialogue in ARMS is entertaining, but when you go from this buttery smooth voice
Today we're bringing you another non-stop volley of ARMS action.
to a Smurf choking on helium and razors, I do wonder if someone got fired during the production of this game. And this brings up a big problem. The characters. While the designs of them are absolutely flawless in every way, they don't have much personality outside of what very little we're given. It's tragically common for fighting games to have a so-called story mode, but little to no story is given or takes place. In the case of ARMS though, we have all this wonderful art, a fair bit of well thought out dialogue that is meant to enhance the story, and these lovingly crafted animations that capture the personality of the character. But it's restricted to that tiny amount. It feels like they were building up to something, but they didn't go all out. From what the game has, the world is definitely thought out. Springman is a rookie character that aims to take down Max Brass. Mechanica idolizes Ribbon Girl and built her suit specifically so she could compete. Dr. Coyle has a huge grudge against Max Brass and Springman, so she built Headlock, Springtron, and entered herself to bring the entire ARMS League to its knees. And Helix... I don't know what the hell that sentient gelatin is thinking, but it cannot be good. There's even an art gallery dedicated to giving more story, even showing that this ARMS mutation dates back to centuries ago in this universe. It's just kind of a shame they didn't expand on it. But it doesn't matter what I think. Let's see what bad reviews have to say about it.
Bad reviews by confused people!
Worst game I've ever played in the last year. Wouldn't pay $10 for it, and this game's existence is proof that stores should allow returns. Annoying music, poor controls. Notice the sob stories in the 8, 9, 10 score ratings where people say, give it a chance, I don't understand why people don't like it. Read between the lines and avoid this game. 0 out of 10.
My apologies, but I don't like it. I've bought it because it's cool and colorful. Maybe something similar to Splatoon 2. But it's kind of boring, ... Some people probs like it. But I like having my own character and walking around in the world. ARMS doesn't give you many options, ... I mean, yeah, playing options. But nothing like having your own character or like an online world. Wouldn't recommend it if you like having more depth in your own Kara, but as a party game, it's probably alright. 2 out of 10.
After a while becomes a bore. There is no competition. The minigames is the best game offers. Skinny roster, skinny arms, skimmy fun. Not a great game. It's not worth $60. And 2 versus 2 is a pain in the ass. 3 out of 10.
This is hands down the worst game Nintendo has ever released. For one, the controls are horrible. It doesn't matter if you're using the motion controls or not. The game has modes that are stupid, like 3 free-for-all. People love to spam moves. You can use 2 back-to-back, avoiding the cooldown. The only awesome part of the game is the mini-games. Like volleyball is the best this game has to offer. Stay away from this game. This game is so unbalanced it's not funny. I'm a huge Nintendo fanboy, and this game is the worst thing Nintendo has ever made. This game will die off when Splatoon 2 hits out. Want a good competitive gameplay? Play Splatoon. The people calling out others for not getting used to the learning curve is a bunch of crap. The controls are bad, nothing can fix that. 0 out of 10.
This is what Nintendo gets for trusting the press like Kotaku and YouTubes over us, the gamers, who have known what they've wanted for years. So they get another flop. ARMS is unique and colorful, and that's all it has going for it. The mechanics are confusing as hell, and the game is restrictive. At first I gave this game a 3, but after more playing, I now give it a 0. If you like ARMS, you need help.
ARMS is the most fun I've had with a motion-controlled game in a long time, and one of the best new IPs to come from Nintendo this side of Splatoon. The quirky characters, catchy tunes, and great graphics combine to make a very memorable experience for those who put in the time and learn the nuances. Trust me, the controls work. Anyone who complains about them just wasn't able to get past the learning curve. They become second nature after an hour. Or 10 lol. Online makes things interesting by switching up the events within the pool of players you're grouped with. I am eagerly awaiting the new DLC characters and extra features. 0 out of 10.
This has been By Me, a show run by a disembodied sore throat.